How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you, Coach?
I'm all right. Been better, been worse.
Are you going to open with something, or should we fire away?
Go ahead, fire away.
Well, the most important question is what candy do you hand out tonight on Halloween?
What candy do I hand out? I'm handing out coal tonight. Is that Christmas?
Yeah, that's Christmas.
That's Christmas? All right, I'm doing it early. All right. I don't know what I'm giving out. I'm a little, my feathers are a little ruffled. We got beat by a mythical bird on Saturday night. We didn't even get beat by a real bird, a mythical bird. It's something that's not even real we got beat by. And we got to bounce back this week. We've got our arch rivals, the Black Knights, are coming in. They left Sunday. They're coming in tanks. They went through St. Louis on Monday night, scared the heck out of the bar crowd, but they're going to be here, and they're loaded for bear. They want a piece of the Falcons. They want a piece of the bird. So it's Army week, no kidding around, no joking around. Everything's serious today. Serious. Happy Halloween. Yeah. Next question.
What do you think of the scheduling, having the football game and hockey against?
We've wanted to do that for the last 20 years. We finally got it done last year, and we had it done up in Army, and then we redid it this year. They always like to play in the second half of the year. Army doesn't. Me, I didn't really care. I always thought it'd be cool to have the hockey and the football on the same weekend. And last year we played each other home and home. So I talked to Brian, and he agreed to playing the series, the first series in West Point on football weekend, and then this year it's our weekend. We only play twice, so we're going to do the same thing this year. I hope we can continue to do it in the future. I thought it was a pretty cool thing at West Point last year, and I think it'll be pretty cool, make for a pretty cool weekend here as well.
So this wasn't an accident. This was something you guys set out to make.
Yeah, I've wanted to do it for years and years and years. But like I said, the Army's always wanted to play. We've only played twice. They wanted to play in the second half of the year. Last year we had to play one in the first half, one in the second. So we actually the series at West Point was supposed to be in the one in the second half of the year, and we said we'll come first just to do it on the football weekend, and Brian agreed to it, and I thought it was a great weekend. You'd have to ask them. They hosted it, but. And I think it's going to be a great weekend here. You got two hockey games and a football game. We got. I know the Corona. We got a lot of the Air Force brass and military brass are coming in for the weekend, and should be really good.
So, do you ever hear from the players? We hear so much about the Army Air Force football side of things and the exchange cadets and the pranks they pull on them. Do hockey guys get involved with that? Do you guys view this as a huge rivalry as the football side does as well?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like Navy, Army, Air Force, Service Academy rivalries. Navy doesn't have a hockey team. They haven't figured out how to freeze water yet, I don't think, over at the Naval Academy. But this is our commander in chief. As we play Army for bragging rights. For many years before we got into a league, our season culminated with this series. That was the biggest thing. We played it on the last series of the year. We weren't in a league, and kind of how your season went kind of depended upon how that last weekend went. And since that time, we've gotten in a league, and we got bigger fish to fry. We're playing for a lot more than just pride. We were in the CHA for 1 year together, and then we've been in Atlantic Hockey together for the last 11 years, and it's done nothing but escalate the series. I mean, now in addition to, like I always say, these games are big around these parts, and the same thing over there. Those games are big around those parts as well. And we always play in front of sold-out houses at Air Force. We always play against sold-out houses at West Point. I think it's the most special rivalry in college hockey. I mean, like it's fierce in the sense that these kids, they go out and they play hard. I mean, probably the most physical series of the year is the series against West Point. And what's kind of cool about it, I was part of the North Dakota rivalry with Minnesota. I was part of the CC Denver rivalry when I was at Denver. And, those schools genuinely disliked the other school, genuinely disliked them. And what's very cool about this series is the respect between the two service academies. There's so much pride in the line, and the kids play so hard to win these games. But at the end of the game, at the end of the series, we go out to center ice, shake hands, salute the crowd together with a show of solidarity, and then we have a dinner. We go to dinner with them after the game. We host it here, obviously. They host it there, and it's really cool. It's really special. Mike, I always say, anybody that's never been to an Army Air Force hockey series, you got to come. It's the games are fantastic, high intensity, physical. But then when it's all said and done, how those kids can run at each other and pound each other, then shake hands, go to center ice, salute the crowd together, and then go break the bread together is beyond me. When I was at Denver and North Dakota, if there was a tiger or a gopher on fire across the street, I wouldn't walk across to throw a glass of water on them, and this is a lot different here. It's pretty cool, pretty special, and it gets better every year.
You mentioned your feathers are a little ruffled after this weekend, losing to the Griffins. What didn't work over the weekend?
The Griffs are pretty good, and the Falcons weren't very good. We haven't played well. It's amazing when you get great goaltending how many warts, how many blemishes can get covered up. And Billy Christopoulos is at 93% with his save percentage, and the quality of saves that he's had to make is amazing. I mean, I think he's stopped 10 breakaways. I mean, I've never had a team that's given up so many breakaways. I'm telling you, the defensemen, you just might want to, when one of their guys is coming and going by you, you might want to go back with them. And I've just never, we have not played very well as a team yet. We've salvaged a good record because our goaltending has been great. And like I said, Billy's at 93% with his save percentage, which is very good. But it's unbelievably good when you consider the quality of shots that we've given up, the number of outnumbered rushes and breakaways. And we got to tidy that stuff up because I'll tell you what, West Point's coming in here with a good team. They've got one of the best teams they've ever had. They had a great team last year, and we were fortunate to get by them in the playoff. We beat them in Rochester 1-0, and they're bringing virtually their whole team back from last year, and we brought virtually our whole team back from last year as well. Now that they lost their goalie, they had a top an all-league goalie last year. We lost our all-league goalie, so we've had to replace our goalies. We've had the injury bug has hit us. Of course, Evan Fino's out for the season. He had surgery. He had ACL surgery yesterday, and he's out for the season. Tyler Ledford, I think, has an MCL. He in the first or second shift on Friday he got hurt. Didn't play Saturday, and he's an Energizer bunny for us. So is Fino. So we're down a couple bodies, and we're not. To be honest with you, we ain't even close to championship form. We aren't even remotely close to it. We've got a long ways to go. We've got to play better, and we've been rolling the dice. We've been rolling sevens because Billy the Greek's been hot, but we can't count on that to happen forever. And we got to come around, and hopefully it comes around this weekend because like I said, this is a big service academy rivalry, and these are huge points because both Air Force and Army are projected to be top end contenders in the league this year.
You kind of touched on it right there, but is this a symptom of early season play, or is this maybe a deeper issue with the guys?
I don't know. Maybe you should bring your microphone over in the locker room and start asking them, because all I get is blank stares, and I'm tired of it. I mean, hey, it's time to start playing. I don't know what the issue is, whatever their issues are, and one thing that we can't and won't put up with is our compete level isn't where it's supposed to be, and nobody ever questions our compete level. From a service academy team, that's our foundation, and I haven't liked our compete level. Collectively, we haven't played well together. We haven't played. We're playing like a bunch of individuals as opposed to just collective effort's bad. And I don't like our heart right now. And something's got to change. Got to change in a hurry. We got good people. Maybe they came back subconsciously, kids. I don't know, thinking it's going to come easy. We're a pretty attractive opponent for people right now. People know that we're a good team. They know we've won a lot of championships. They know we're the defending champ. We're getting everybody's A game, and it matters. It means something to beat us. And like I said, we've got to match the intensity level of our opponents, and we got to do it soon.
So what's on the menu when you break bread with Army? When you feed them, what do you?
I don't know what we're going to feed them. Usually, I like barbecue. It's usually a man meal. Yeah, it's usually a man meal. Yeah, got the Army guys, the Air Force guys, a bunch of young men. Usually don't complain about lots of meat. Yeah.
Where do you do that? Do you do it at a restaurant? Do you do?
You know what? At West Point, they have a fabulous facility. It's unbelievable. It's right off their Hall of Fame and overlooks Mikey Stadium. This great big room. It's wonderful. Over here, I think we're going to be down on the track. We don't have a wonderful room like that yet. I know Mr. Knowlton is working on that, and we will eventually have a wonderful room like that. It probably would be the best thing is if our stadium was closer. The press box would be a great place for us to be able to do that. But at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, it's just better to get them fed and get them on their way. They're going to have a big travel party with them with their players and their parents and whatnot. So,
was there ever any thought of adjusting game time just to keep while you've got the football crowd here, to let them come right to a game?
I know Dave Toller won't let us do that because Dave is he's in charge here, like behind the scenes. He runs everything, and it takes, I guess, our staffing. What the problem is our staffing at the football game and the staffing at the hockey game. By the time they're done there, and then they relocate and get set up here, it's the same people. So I think. Is our game on Saturday at 7:30? So it's pushed back a half hour. And in defense of the Air Force Academy and Dave Toller, last year when we did the same thing at West Point, we actually played at 8 o'clock. We played there was a noon football game, and they played at 8 o'clock at night, the hockey game. And so it wasn't all the same crowd, but it would be nice. It would be nice to be if we could dovetail that a little tighter, but that's all right. We'll have a good crowd for both games, and hopefully the boys show up and play to their potential this weekend.